Are there actually microplastics in everyone's testicles? I saw that article. I saw it. I was worried. Have I got microplastics in me?
Probably. I mean, it's not
in the
unheard of.
testicles?
I don't know specifically the testicles. I didn't read the study fully to know exact details of it, but it's not unusual for that to happen in the day and age where we live in, where people pollute, companies pollute. There's these chemicals that we've used for waterproofing that last way beyond what normal chemicals last in the environment, very similar in our own bodies. So I think that absolutely is a real scenario. And just like how we talked about, I feel like I'm villainizing capitalism here, and I'm not anti-capitalism by any means, but a lot of these private equity companies, they find a product that works as waterproof, water bottle or jacket or whatever article of clothing. They're going to mass produce it without thinking about the effects on society as a whole, because again, their main focus is on the profits. And I'm not anti people making profits, but you have to think about what's happening with these chemicals. And, with public pressure right now, I think a lot of companies are waking up to make some changes, and it's not full, but it's a step in the right direction for sure.
I saw you do a video about Lululemon leggings and whether or not they're dangerous. What's the conclusion from that? Are Lululemon leggings killing everyone?
That would be funny. No, there was a pretty common claim that I saw that there's this chemical PFAS that exists in Lululemon leggings as well as other athletic wear companies, and whether or not that's harmful for us. And then as I researched that video, I realized how pervasive the use of PFAS are in our lives, that the reality is, even if you're a minimalist, you still have exposure because of food containers, because of the trash that people get rid of and how it transfers to wastewater and how it's present in our oceans. So hiding it from it is not easy. There are some consumer things you can do to check if your products do contain these chemicals. But now, luckily, Lululemon, we reached out to them for comment. They said they're no longer using those chemicals in their products, probably from social pressure. Just the fact that people are up in arms about it.
How interesting. I had Dr. Shanna Swan on the show. She wrote the book Countdown, which was about sperm rate decline over the last few decades. Really interesting, bunch of interesting things from her. First one being that I would have thought that we would have had tons more data about testosterone levels than about sperm levels. Not true. Apparently sperm counts have been tracked for much longer, which kind of makes sense, I guess. The sperm count level is much more important to the continuation of the species than the testosterone level. It's only recently that bros like me and you have maybe been concerned about whether we're in the high 800s or the low 500s. So that was the first thing. Second thing being, to your point about avoiding and the difficulty in avoiding microplastics, that you can get farmer's market, raw milk, glass bottle from the farmer. Farmer's going to hand it to you and you think, oh, fuck you, plastics. You can't get me. My testicles are sweet and pure. What you don't realize is that what they used to pump the cow was a tube attached to the udder, warm milk, and it's heat plus these plastics that are really, really not good because they seem to be able to sort of liberate some of these molecules from the binding, going through these plastic tubings. What's in the plastic tubings? All of the materials and all of the compounds that you're worried about in any case. So yeah, it is so difficult. What's it packed in? What was it collected in? What's it been transported in? What's the heat that it's been in throughout all of this time? What's the lid on the top of that bottle made of? And what's the heat? It is unbelievable. So my friend George, who I'm traveling with, this is not, for the people listening at home, I didn't realize we're an hour and a bit in, this is not my normal studio. I'm currently in Lake Norman in North Carolina. George, the guy that I'm traveling with, has a question he asks, which is, what is currently being ignored by the media but will be studied by historians? And I think that microplastics and the ubiquity of those are definitely going to count as one. It's beginning to catch a little bit of steam now, but it's still very much in the sort of micro niche influencer fringe, and I'm not seeing it really break out into the mainstream just yet.
Yeah, we have so many things that pose risk to us on a given day. It's hard to know where our attention should fall. So I very much hope more scientists are focusing on this. It's difficult for me. Like, think about it this way. I think it was Leigh Norton that actually said this on my podcast in a different way, but same example. If I'm looking to pick up the biggest weight as possible, and there's different size boulders around me, and those boulders represent risks I can reduce for my patients, like basically beneficial things I can do for them. Most of the boulders are focused on really the fundamental things of healthcare, which means making sure that you're not carrying excess weight, you're consuming at least a varied plant-based diet with good sources of protein, fish, chicken, meat, all that good stuff. Exercising, sleeping correct, mental health check-ins, social relationships. Those are the big boulders. And then the plastic, while it could be a big threat down the line, I don't know if I have the capacity to tackle microplastics right now, unless we get more information in the next.
Think about how many testicles you'd need to be around if you were going to tackle the microplastics.
Well, I don't remember how much that study
swimming
is actually present.
Swimming in testicles. But
that's
no,
also why I approach medicine the way that I do, in saying that there's so much we don't know. Like, there's so much we don't understand. Our grasp of subjects is so novice level. And while we are advanced as a society because we compare ourselves to puppies and kittens, we say, look how advanced we are as a species, there's so much we don't know. So that when someone comes on and acts very confident that they have the key to everything, I think that's great for their work. I don't think that's necessarily great for the average person.
This episode is brought to you by Element. Stop having coffee first thing in the morning. Your adenosine system that caffeine acts on isn't even active for the first 90 minutes of the day, but your adrenal system is, and salt acts on your adrenal system. Element contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio of sodium, potassium, and magnesium with no sugar, no gluten, no coloring, no artificial ingredients, or any other BS. It plays a critical role in reducing muscle cramps and fatigue while optimizing brain health, regulating appetite, and curbing cravings. The orange flavor in a cold glass of water is literally the best way to start your morning. I've done it every single day for over 3 years now, way before they were a partner on the show, and I love it. Best of all, there is a no BS, no questions asked refund policy, so you can buy absolutely risk-free, and if you do not like it for any reason, they will give you your money back, and you don't even need to return the box. Right now, you can get a free sample pack of all 8 flavors with your first box by going to the link in the description below or heading to drinklmnt.com/modernwisdom. That's drinklmnt.com/modern wisdom. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that clip, you will love the full-length podcast in all its glory, which is available right here. Go on. Press it.